I think it's fantastic. Oh,
Thank you.
oh
I'm really fortunate because I've got a friend who he tried to teach me all of this, and I said, I can't do it. Let's just do one day at a time, one step at a time, please.
yes,
And that
yeah,
really
that's
works for
me.
me. And I was just
Yeah,
like, thank God for that.
yeah. I'm the same as you, Dawn. I mean, so I used to do testing in insurance company in IT, but we used to test a system. So you learn how to write the test scripts and follow the system. So to me, this is the same way, but I get so muddly with all this
I know. Well, there's so much.
technology.
There's so
Mm,
much. So I'm
mm.
just putting my other phone on silent to make sure. But I will just warn you,
Go
just
ahead.
in case, Christine, because I've got my dog sitting by my feet. And if
Okay,
he goes
that's
off,
fine.
if he goes off on one, because the postman comes along, I'll put myself on mute and you just carry on talking. I'm not ignoring you. I just when he goes for it, he really goes for it.
Does he?
Yeah.
Wow, he's a dog, isn't he?
Oh,
Yeah,
bless him.
yeah,
Well, I know
bless
it's
him.
his job, but sometimes it does make you jump out your skin.
Yes. Yeah. So you're going to be talking to Kay, is it this evening?
Yeah, yeah. So
Ah,
I'm excited about that, and my conversation keeps changing in my head that I want to talk about, and I'm thinking, stop worrying and just let it be spontaneous.
yes, yes, because I'm going to be doing it on Friday evening with Kay,
Oh, brilliant! Well done.
and I'm going to do what I taught when we did Nat did Raw on the Friday live, and it is about all the scar work I do,
Yeah,
and a couple of little stories I've got that I can tell, so about people, but it is working with like you really. Well, I'm still well-being, but it's all about well-being,
yeah, yeah,
and I'd like to work more with women that's had breast cancer surgery.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think I think that's really good. If somewhere down the future, Christine, I'd like to talk to you more about your scar tissue work because I actually want to write a little book where it's like 20 ways. Oh, my dog's got to join us now. 20 ways to get in touch with a therapist or someone who can help you. And I think if we can look at it from your point of view of how you work with people, that's very different to just doing the, Reiki or whatever it is, counseling.
yes, yeah, yeah. I
Yes.
mean, it's at the moment I'm allowed to work because of the qualification I have,
Yeah.
and also because I am a clinical holistic sports massage therapist. So I treat people that are in pain, like
Yeah.
a physio or a chiropractor or an osteopath. So my insurance company said last week, fine, no problem with that. Check through. You're not allowed to do any relaxation massages at all, but you can work when people come to you in pain. So
Right.
don't put it out there that you're working, but if somebody phone you, please work.
Okay.
So that's fine. So
Yeah.
protection for me and for the client. And I'd also rung East Suffolk County Council on the Monday too. And they took all week to come back to me. They came back to me on Friday. Oh my God, Dawn. It was like I was in dock and I had 101 questions
Yeah.
he was firing at me because he honestly, the government and our councils don't know what we do.
No.
They have no idea how qualified we all are, how many exams we actually take,
Yeah.
how we do continuous improvement, how we move forward in everything that we offer our clients.
Yeah.
He honestly, he didn't have a clue. By the time we finished the conversation, it was well over 10 minutes. I said to him, why don't you take this forward to the government, the conversation that we've had? Because hopefully you've recorded me, which he didn't answer. And I said, it would be good that you have recorded me because actually you could relate this to our government and all the
Yeah.
councils. And he said, well, what level are you? I said, well, actually, my level, I don't think mean much. I said, I've done a BTEC 6. And he go, what do you mean a BTEC 6? He said, that's a graduation. I went, well, yeah, it's a graduation. And I said, it is a high level and it crosses the whole of the UK, just not a little bit of the UK. It crosses Scotland, Wales, UK, Ireland. And he went, oh, right.
Mm.
He said, and then when we talked it all the way through, what I did, how I treat people, how I look at people,
Yeah.
we discussed all the government lines I put into my clinic room. And he said to me, risk. I said, oh, I can send you all the risk documentation I pulled together.
Yeah.
He said, you've got a risk documentation? I said, yeah, that was a requirement of my insurance, and also the complementary therapy associations I'm with. I said, would you like to write them down? And I told him what they were, the Think Tree Hub, complementary therapy. I said, I hope you're writing all this down and you're getting this is being recorded. I said, because I know Krishna from the Think Tree Hub, he sits in the government and he's been lobbying for such a long time to get us recognised.
Yeah.
And I said, because we do need recognisation. I said, we don't work in massage parlours anymore. I said, some therapists might. I said, but I'll tell you what, there's an awful lot of therapists do not.
Yeah.
I said, we're really qualified and we really can help our clients, and we really need to be working if we can work. He said, well, what about beauty therapists? I said, they're still skilled in their own way.
Yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
you can't knock them. They do right up to an MVQ and then they carry on. Like I know a lot of beauty therapists have carried on to be therapists like me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I said, though part of they offer people more beauty, but they can offer a lot more modalities. And he just went, you're so interesting. I went, we just need somebody to listen to us, really.
That's so true.
Yeah, what made me laugh, he said, I am going to allow you to work.
Oh, bless you. Thank you.
And I had to really, you know, when you really want to laugh, and I had to rein myself in. I went, that's so nice of you, thank you.
Well done, Christine. But also from the other point of view, Christine, what, you know, if you suddenly take away that service, even if it is what you call a normal, like beauty massage or relaxation massage, that is something that increases someone's well-being.
Absolutely.
If you just take that out of the water, I know a lot of people, including myself, ended up struggling, you know, with stress and things like that, because I had a really sore neck, which I need attention to frequently, and that really does get you down.
It does.
Yeah.
No, it does. And I think beauty plays an important part. I really do, especially for women. I really do. Yeah. Because we need that. We need that kind of, just that few hours or that attention. And I don't know where we're all going to go, but I don't think I made an impact on this chap. I don't think he still understood what I did or what anybody does.
Yeah, but I think the fact that you put your point of view across and you have the conviction behind you, someone's going to listen.
They've got to, haven't they? Yeah. They've got to.
Yeah.
And we keep asking. I mean, even when they shut down this time, it still came out as being massage parlours.
Yeah.
And then just beauty. And I thought, gosh, you're not listening. You just, no one's listening up there. You know, I know they're trying to do their best. I don't think they're doing their best, but I know a lot of people think they're doing their best. But it's just so annoying. But I've only had one client this week now, yesterday, and I've got one at the end of the week. So I'm not working too hard. I'm just being very, very careful as well.
Yeah.
It's
time for you as well, Christine, because you've been through a really busy year, haven't you? A lot of things happened. Maybe this is the universe's way of saying Christine needs some help as well.
Yes, and thank you for your help too. Still taking my Bach remedy, by the way. You sent me, thank you.
Brilliant, well done, Abby.
Yeah, thank you.
I was going to, I do want to know more about your scar tissue work, because I think that's something that I don't think a lot of people realise it's actually available. But I think for the moment, I want to talk to you about something which I know has happened to you recently over the weekend, because last week I was talking to Jason Moody, and what I want to do the universe didn't hear that, did it? Okay.
They didn't. No, you're going to do.
Yeah, okay. Well, I've written some books which initially were going to be aimed at children about the Bach flower remedies and natural ways that people can help themselves. So it's just something simple as breathing or writing a journal and the reason behind that, and looking more deeply into why we get in a muddle and, you know, the impact of things that have happened in our lives. And then obviously introducing the remedies, because they were my saviour. Okay. But what I also want to do, the reason for doing it is because eventually I want to go back to schools and start doing meditation again, and teaching the children to trust their gut feeling, and to help them understand that just because they've had a label put on them, or because they've had a bad run of luck, or they've been naughty, or whatever they've been right up until today, That's okay. Let's allow that. Has happened. Can't change it. But let's start again today. And let's peel away those layers. And why did you do that? And so that's kind of my mission at the moment, because I know it worked when I was over Stalham Way, and I've been over to the colleges and done it there. But what I do see at the moment is a lot of children are kind of gone more. They kind of, I think my understanding of, based on my life, is what they're feeling as a result of what their parents are feeling.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Do you know, I totally agree. Yes. Yeah. And all they seem to be doing at the moment is on their Xboxes,
yeah,
or on their phone, and they're quite shutting down, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah. And I think, you know, for not only the shutting down, Christine, I think myself, my God, if this is having an impact on me, and I know the first time it, oh, here he goes. Oh, bless you. Maybe this is your time to talk, Christine. Okay, we'll see. If not, I'll just mute it, because he does actually go off on one when he does. Barney, come on, bless. Oh, that's what you call live calls, isn't it? Okay.
But that's how it should be, isn't it? Bless him, he's doing his job. He's
Come
doing
on,
it right.
Appearance, mate. Don't just make a noise about it. Okay. Let your voice be heard. Okay. What I want to do eventually, I think I've just skipped a few steps there, but I'm quickening it up because Barney might just go, is I want to, based on something that happened a couple of weeks ago, my son's car got trashed. Basically, someone got something and scrawled all down one side, not just to scrape through.
Oh, Dawn.
They had to go from wherever they were walking past ours, which, you know, where Jamie's car isn't actually on the roadway bit. They had to go past his van, between two parked cars, and trash down the side of his car and scrawled all over it. And I was so unhappy. I was like beyond anger. And because it's his as well, you know what it's like for your kids. You don't want your kids to be suffering, do you?
No, and your question you ask yourself is just why?
I know, yeah. And that kind of fitted in, although I was really angry about it, and the police said at the moment I can't do anything about it because the CCTV didn't cover that corner. So we've got no evidence. So there's someone walking around with a smirk on his face going, oh, I got away with it. And I'm not being judgmental, but I can be judgmental. And what I want to understand, Christine, and coming back to your story in a moment, is what makes that person who's I'm sure a perfectly nice person, and if I saw him in the supermarket, he'd probably pick up my bag and walk up the street with it with me. What makes them go from that space where they can be perfectly logical and kind and calm and caring to a place where they think it's okay to go out and destroy someone else's property?
I don't know.
And I think my thought is, and I was saying to Jason, is like, if we can stop these children, like who've been maybe labelled as naughty or disruptive, or they've got ADHD and that's what we expect of them, if we can actually help them realise that underneath all of these layers there's a lot of conditioning and maybe a reaction, so you're overreacting to things. Maybe we could just stop some of these children in their tracks and just stop and think. Just stop and think, do you know what? That's not who I am.
Good, wouldn't it?
And
because if you could do that and like rewiring their mind, their thoughts to stop and think before they react, then you would get a kinder world. You'd get a nicer people on the planet that slowly respect other people's property, respect other people as as being human like we are. But I don't get it. I don't get why somebody would walk between a car to destroy somebody's property. All I can think is somebody knows your son, jealous of your son, because often people come out, is it jealousy? Is it just someone being nasty, really jealous and nasty?
Yeah, policeman said that. And because we live near a pub as well, so bringing the alcohol in the mix doesn't help.
No,
so, and that is a really nice car. A really nice car. Even I feel like I'm sitting in a cocktail, or which you've got a bit of a nice car when I'm in there. But it's like, what I'd love to be able to do is maybe meet somebody who's done something like that in the past and then come to a point where they realise it's wrong. I want to talk to these people. I just want to see and meet these people and go, do you know, I don't want to be in that place where I'm judging you. I want to understand why. And if we can actually do like little talks on that, like with Jason, with yourself, with something that's happened to you, with things that happened in the past, with teachers, with students, with people who've maybe gone down the wrong road, you know, because we all make mistakes, don't we, Christine?
Oh, good God, yeah. That's how we learn, isn't it?
I didn't. It took me a
We
lot of
learn.
years to learn my mistakes.
Okay. But each one you come up to, you do take
Yeah,
learning from it. It might take, like you say, a bit longer, but we
yeah,
do get there.
yeah,
I've always asked, oh yeah, yeah, because I remember when, as a child, I was terribly naughty, but I know why.
yeah,
Yeah, I do know why,
yeah,
because I just wanted pure attention
yeah.
and I
And I
didn't
think,
get it.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's a
So,
lot of it, is the
yeah.
attention. And I think this is why when I was talking to Jason, I said to him, I say maybe they're doing it because I could relate back to, someone I knew when they were in school. And maybe it is an attention seeking thing. And because they're getting attention, whether it's good or bad, they've got the attention. So then that puts value on them. They feel more important.
Yeah.
And what I want to do is understand. I don't want to judge anymore. I was really angry. I don't get
Oh, I
angry,
would be,
but
yeah, I
yeah.
would. Oh, I'd be furious. And I know my husband would, Kevin would, and I know if he caught them, God help them. That's all I can say.
Okay. But
And that's the truth.
I
That's the
try
truth.
I try to stay within the law.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he wouldn't.
Although
He
I was
wouldn't.
tempted.
I would
No,
always
please.
say, oh, you'd have to calm down. And he went, I couldn't calm down because
Yeah,
why would you want to destroy somebody else's property?
yeah, I agree
What
with you.
what what pleasure do you actually get out of it? And that's the question: is that why did you do it? And what pleasure did
Yeah,
you get out of doing it?
yeah.
Because all right, they got away with it, so it's one that's pleasure. I got away with this. Oh, look at me. But
But
gosh,
yeah, was it attention? Was it a kind of like a, hey, look at me, more macho against a friend? Don't know. But I just love to understand because
yeah,
what I do know because obviously I work with the flower remedies and Dr. Bach's belief was, and I think that's the thesis behind everything that he did, was when there's a void between your thinking and who you are, is when dis-ease sets in. So I know when I get angry about things, it makes me feel unwell in my tummy, in my head. I'm just become a not so nice person.
yeah, I understand that because that happens to me too.
Yeah,
Because when I divorced my first husband, because I used to fight all the time with him and mum, and to stand my corner, so I had a presence, if you like,
yeah,
and I was recognized as me and not just a wife and somebody's mother and a daughter, and used to fight all the time. And it wasn't until I bought my own house, moved in there, and a week later I was so ill
yeah,
and I ended up with glandular fever,
yeah, yeah,
and that kicked out my thyroid. So I have got an autoimmune disease now I put up with the rest of my life.
yeah, yeah,
And it was because my body just was in flight and fright all the time.
yeah.
And then you relax and then it's got nothing to fight with anymore. So that was, and now if I get angry, I go into a meltdown, don't I?
Yeah,
Shake. I
yeah,
go
yeah,
all over the place. I'm a mess.
yeah,
So I try very hard now not to get
yeah,
angry.
yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really get that because for me, I'll tell you another story another day because being angry, my blood pressure went up and I had a stroke, and that's 2 or 3 years ago now, or 2.5 years ago. And I know that I brought that on myself. If I'd have just spoken to that person about how I felt instead of accumulating these feelings of frustration and disappointment and angry towards this person, if I'd have told them that right from the beginning, I could have saved myself the unwellness. So in a
Yeah.
way, that was a major lesson for me. So now if I get a real headache and I stop and think, what's going on here? Why am I thinking this? What am I thinking or feeling that's going to make me unwell? And how can I turn it around? So for me, it's all part of what I do because I can help other people to understand. But what I would love to do is just meet this young person. I think it's young because I'm seeing 3 people together. So working as a medium, often you get an insight, but no one's given me a name yet. So excuse me upstairs. Okay.
Yes, you need help. You need help.
Yes, Mum, get on the case, please. Give me it in writing.
Yes.
I need evidence. Okay. But what I'd love to just speak to this person and say, why did you do it? I don't want to judge you. I don't want to be in that place where Dawn is judging because that upsets me. And then what I'm putting out to the world is like, there are mean people out there. Actually, there's a mean person out there because something's happened in his life that makes him feel that he can do that. So what's happened to you, mate, that's made you feel that you can do that to other people's property? Have you lost your job? Has someone put you down? Has someone made you feel like you're a bad person? So that's why you act that way? And I know it sounds a bit crazy, but I just feel as I want to sit with this person and ask, please help me understand.
It's not crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, youngsters get together and all of a sudden they egg each other on, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, you do this, I dare you to do this. You've got to do this. If you want to be a part of us, you've got to do this, that, and everything else. And I remember when I was a little girl, don't do things that kids do these days. It was actually quite innocent, but it wasn't at the time. We used to knock on people's doors and run away. But, but we used to dare each other to do it. There was no malice in it, and there was nobody did any damage to anybody's property.
Yeah.
But that was just a game we played. So the games they seem to play these days, I don't know, seem to be a lot more serious to me.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And I just want an understanding, because if I can get an understanding and put together maybe a couple of case studies, maybe that would be a really good package to take with me when I go to schools and talk to the children about, you could go down that road or that road. And I just had this image of Jason standing there in his uniform. Obviously, I don't know if he's still got it, but in his police uniform. And me standing there as a mum. My son standing there as a young person who spent all his money, all his savings on his car. And at what stage do you think it's okay to do this? You know, have you thought about what mum feels? Have you thought about what he feels? Have you thought about the repercussions of this? Because these are roads that you should be considering before you take that action. And I want to help them understand that you don't have to be naughty to get attention. There are ways that you can do things that can bring you a greater impact in life. It also can make you feel good about yourself, instead of somewhere in the back of your head, do you not have a conscience that says, oh, I really should not have done that? Do they feel guilty? I don't know. But for me,
I couldn't go and do that kind of thing. I could not damage anybody's property. That would, oh God, I'd be beside myself. Yeah. But I couldn't do that, and I wouldn't want that. So that's never been in my mind. No. And to be honest with you, I don't like upsetting or hurting people at all.
No. Me neither. I'm one of these people, if I say something to someone and it's got them have a reaction in their life, I'll be worrying about it all night. I'll be thinking, oh, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that. And I know there's a remedy to counteract that, but it would play on my mind that I've maybe said something to Paul today that was a little bit out of order, or a little bit too close to the knuckle, as they call it.
Yeah.
You know, in relationships, you sometimes have to push the boundaries a little bit and stand your ground, don't you?
You do. Yeah, you do. You do. I mean, it's like what happened to me on Sunday when I got up. My son texted me actually. He said, Mum, you've been hacked. And I went, have I? Because I didn't know. And it wasn't until I signed on and couldn't sign on to different things and I thought, oh gosh, I'm in trouble. Then realised everybody else had been hacked as well. And I just thought, I was beside myself.
Yeah.
And when I contacted Nat and I said, can I please put this on the Raw website? She said, Chris, you just go and do it. You don't ask permission. I said, yes, I do ask permission. It's your community. It's not my community. I belong in your community, but I don't run your community. It's yours. And I would never do anything without asking you first, because that's who I am. And she said, yes, go ahead. And I burst into tears. Absolutely was mortified. And because I'd had one person I don't know that well from when I did a lot of training down in Brighton, but one person I knew very, very well, and that person upset me the most. They're no longer my friend. I've taken them off Facebook. I've taken them off Messenger. I don't want to ever engage with them again. And that's what really upset me the most. And the message was, Christine, I didn't think you were like that. That is awful thing you've just done to me and everybody else that you're associated with. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Oh, bless you.
And I just sat there in the kitchen. I said to Kev, read that. And I cried. And he went, Chris, they get these things to people. And then I have a friend who sent it, so I thought it was kosher, like you do. Went to open it, but it wasn't. They sent it via their website. they'd hacked into them and then hacked into all my contacts and everybody I knew. Lucky enough, a lot of people know me well enough that I don't send these kind of things. So they didn't open them.
Yeah.
So many kind words said, we knew it wasn't you because you don't do it.
Yeah.
You never do it.
Yeah.
And I know people have asked me to pass things on sometimes, and I won't do it.
Okay.
Because people sometimes get offended, and I know people say, oh, I don't like it when you have to do this or send this or send, and I think, okay, fine. So I don't engage in that kind of thing because it worries me, and I don't want to upset people.
Oh, bless you.
They upset me.
Can I just, before we go any further, because if I'm looking at the one that, the advert, what happened? Should we explain what happened? So you opened your Facebook and there was a message in there, and was it a black square with a little arrow in the middle?
Yes, or it was, I can't remember, it was a colour, and it said I had to change my password.
Okay.
It said I'd been hacked and I have to change all my passwords. And Stephen Thompson, he even sent me a messenger, Chris, just change your passwords and that'll be fine. Don't worry. Yeah. And I put it on Heartbrand. When I got into my Facebook, changed all my passwords. It took me all morning to change everything. Because I'm not on an Apple phone, it doesn't synchronize that well with a Samsung. So I had to synchronize my phone with my laptop. So it took me, I must admit, from the time it all started, Dawn, I was still going at 2:15 trying to get it all to work properly.
Oh,
but
bless you.
It's all fine now. Yeah. And Kev said, another lesson you've learned in your life, my darling, you don't open anything and you don't pass anything. Yeah. And I went, no, I know.
Okay. I think that's a valuable message for all of us, because I must admit, I don't know if the word's guilty, but sometimes I get these lovely little things which says, I love you to bits, I want to give you a big hug, pass this on to your friend.
Yes, I do too.
My son goes, for God's sake, do you realise there could be a virus behind that? And I hear what he's saying, but when it happens to a friend like you, I'm like, oh my God, I think there is a massive warning for everybody out there. If you want to say I love you to somebody or send them a big hug, put it in a message. Just send it.
I think so.
Especially for like this Christmas period, because what's happened to you could have impacted on every one of your friends in your circle.
Yes, everybody. And I know Sandra from the Heartbrand. I know she was going to talk to Stephen because she was upset about it. Yeah. Yeah. So, and I understand that, and that upset me to think that she was upset because I hadn't sent it. They just connect in and then it just goes viral. It just picks up all your connections and go to everybody. And someone explained that to me, and they said, Chris, we know it's not you. It's the hackers. They do it automatically. Yeah. And someone sent it to you. They've picked up your name from there as well, and sent it to you, and it looks kosher, but it's not. Yeah.
So what would be the signs that we're looking for, Christine?
A video like I've got, when it's black screen, there's nothing in there. But like you say, when your friends send you a message and say, pass it on, because, you know, friends have sent me that, pass this on, pass that on. And I got, so people don't always want it to be passed on. Yeah. So that's my message, is don't pass on anything. If you want to get in touch with that person, do it personally. Yeah, yeah. Do it messenger, pick up a phone, do what we're doing now. Just make it personal. I really learned even more of a valuable lesson on Sunday. It devastated me all day. I had a headache. I didn't feel very well all day. I'm going to get upset, because it really did upset me. And this person, who I wouldn't have believed in a million years would upset me, was so nasty. And I said to Kev, said, you didn't send it, so don't worry. I said, yeah, but when you get people's remarks like that are really cutting, I said, you don't get over that in a hurry, Kev. It takes a little while to think, okay, put it in the back of your mind, I can move on. Yeah. And when I was talking to Nat, and I had a cry, bless her, and she said, Chris, I've been hacked. We've all been hacked. And she explained as well. And she said, don't worry. Everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. Yeah. And I said, I'll never pass on anything again. Okay. And she said, that's not saying none of you'll be hacked again, because we probably will be. Yeah. Yeah. And it is a shame.
because the intention behind these beautiful messages and pictures is normally like, oh, I really care about you and I want to say that.
Yes. Yeah.
Probably better off to text a message and says, I'm just thinking about you and I want to send you the biggest hug ever, and send it as a voice message, or do it on Facebook or whatever. But
that's what
for
I'm
yourself,
gonna do.
yeah, sorry.
I said that's what I'm going to do from now on.
Yeah.
I really am. I said to Kev, I said, if I want to get in contact with somebody, I will be getting in contact with them, and it certainly won't be this way.
Yeah.
Or passing on, someone sent you something and it says, oh, pass it on with loving care to all the friends that you care about. I said, I have done it, but I will never ever do it again.
Yeah.
And I said, but I didn't pass this on to anybody. That was the thing. And he said, no, you, and Nat said, no, you won't. Once you try and open it, Chris, it connects to, it has little, I suppose, like spider's web, and it just goes out to everybody. And then they're all hacked as well if they open it. If they don't, they're not.
Yeah. Well, I was really fortunate because I, with sequential learning, I don't know if you know what that means. Like, if you tell me something and it's on a screen and I've got to remember it and then try and act on it, my mind doesn't connect the three. Okay. And it's always been a pain in the, but for this one occasion, when I saw your post later on, I understood then why I couldn't understand because I couldn't, when I clicked on it, it said, go to Facebook, sign in your password. And I thought, oh, I can't even remember what that is. So for me, that was a blank space. And so I just ignored it. I thought, if Christine wants to talk to me, she'll send me a message. So I was grateful that for once, my head saved me.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. You were listening. Thank God for that. And I thought, how can I connect to everybody that really needs connection? And I thought Facebook, because everybody that's in Messenger, I thought they would get a communication to say, there's a Facebook, and look at the Facebook and then look at the messages, which most people did. And I was so grateful that Facebook worked.
Yeah.
So
is there something that we can look at? Was there a sign to say that it wasn't from you? Would anybody, if I'd have seen that come up, would I have been able to tell it wasn't from you, Christine?
I don't know. That's something we'll have to ask Stephen Thompson, I think. Yeah. Because I don't know. Because,
excuse me, when that says make me feel quite shocked at the thought that someone can even do that. If, like, obviously we're building up this friendship, we've not known each other for very long, but we're building up this friendship, and then someone breaks that trust by doing that, it's like, seriously, that can really impact on someone, can't it?
And that's how I felt Sunday. Yeah.
And I think
why I got.
Sorry. Okay.
I know. That's why I got so upset on Sunday. I just said to Kevin, so many people from Tea with Steve, Raw, I said, and Heartbrand, that now I've all connected with, and they're still sending me connection. And I make sure before I even accept their friendship, now who they're friends with. Yeah. And you just hope and trust, because you think, well, I don't know that person, so should I be accepting them? And I said to Kev, I've been asking that question. I think, they're friends with Steve Thompson, they're friends with Nat, they're friends with Dawn, they're friends with that. We're all got this connection together, so I accept it. Yeah. And you're just hoping that person you're accepting is still kosher. Yeah. So I did say to Kev, I said, oh God, I've got connection with all these lovely people, and I said to him, I know they're going to have a distrust of me because of this hacker. Yeah. And Gail Young, to say, because she lives in Lincoln, Gail. Yeah. She was great. She said to me, you know what it is? She said, it's just a spotty little kid at the other end, thinking he's very big on hacking into people. He's not particularly doing anything. He's just hacking into people and wrecking people's lives for a little while. And I said to Dawn, I don't care if it's a spotty little kid doing it. I didn't like it.
I know. No. And it's an invasion of your life. And I think my concern is, Christine, not only has that happened to you, it could have impacted on all your friends and family. But at this time in life when we're all so uncertain, I wouldn't say all uncertain, but you know what I mean? There's a lot of uncertainty around us with the virus and people getting unwell. And do we feel safe? Do we trust those people? To throw this into the mix, I think that's beyond, I can't even think of a word to explain that, because I want to be non-judgmental to all of these people, but I know as a Scorpio I can be very judgmental. But
my husband's a Scorpio.
Oh, is it? Oh, bless him. So you understand that one.
Yes, I do, very much.
But, you know, it's like, how can we go through life trusting and putting our love and our compassion and our help and our support out there when there are people who are constantly trying to bring us down? That's like, this is something I really want to understand from a really basic level. What brings that person from there to there, so that we can actually help them to peel away the layers and say, that's not who you are. That's who you've become based on what you've experienced. And if we can
It would be
help
nice.
just one person come back to that understanding. And, you know, I've written these books, and I said to, it just randomly come out of the top of my head. So if it comes through, that's coming out. Okay. I just said, I'd like to impact 1,000 families. And they said, oh, hang on, we're now going to have a dog go off in a minute. No, that's okay. The postman's gone. I have to be on caution look at the dog. I said, no, let's forget the 1,000. I'd love to impact 1 million families to help them realize that if there's something going on in your family that's impacting on your feeling of well-being, you can turn that around. And I put it out there, and this person ever since been come around telling everyone that Dawn's got impact 1 million families. I'm like, okay, so I better keep it up now, haven't I?
Yes, you have. Yes, your purpose. Yes.
Yeah. Because, you know, from my point of view, when Carol rescued me, I say rescued me from a life of what could have been mental health, and a negative mental health as opposed to, you know, good feeling. Basically, that impacts on me. It helped my daughter, my son, my family, my mum, my friends. Everyone in my circle had a new dawn. A new dawn came, you know, that was like a new person evolved from this understanding of herself. And so if we can, you know, with your work and my work and with the other therapists that we know, we can actually do that and help one family, and then two, and then three, what a difference we can make. And hopefully we'll all come out of this system or whatever's happened right now, this situation, feeling like, actually, do you know what? Let's just start again. We can make a difference. And I think my message would be, Christine, for yourself, as take a deep breath and recognize that if you are angry about something or frustrated or want to blow someone's head off or whatever you want to do, okay, don't let it impact on your well-being. Take a deep breath in, bring in the love and bring the light into your body again, because that's who you really are. So it doesn't impact on how you feel about you.
You helped me because you sent me little messages, and I thought that was really, really lovely. And what I love about is, I'm going to bring this into it, I am reading your book.
Oh, fantastic. Well done. Thank you.
I am about 150 pages in, mind you.
Oh, well done, love. Thank you. That's a bit of a journey, isn't it?
No, it's brilliant. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm enjoying the lessons.
Oh, brilliant. Well done.
Through the book, yes. And I'm practicing the breathing, and because that's been helping me as well to breathe in and relax.
Yeah.
So because I didn't have too good a day yesterday, and funny enough, Emma asked me how I was, and I said, oh, I've had a niggling pain all day. And she went, do you think you need to go to hospital? I went, no. So, and then Gail, I gave some healing to yesterday as well. So, and she said, how's it going with your heart? And I went, it's niggling all day today. I said, it's sort of, there's an ache there.
Yeah.
And when I told her the 3 pain I had and what happened, she said, and I forgot because she was a nurse, and she said to me, and she called it, she said, you've had an infract of the heart. And I said, well, they're small heart attacks, aren't they? She said, yeah, but every time you have one of them, you get a hardening of the heart. She said, and I can't understand why you're still alive.
Oh, bless you. Okay. That's reassuring.
She said, and it was just so lovely. And we did have a good laugh, actually. And she said, God, you're made of strong stuff, woman.
Yeah.
I said, yes, I am, actually. Yeah. I said, I always have been. Yeah. And I said, I know. I said, I'm just waiting some results, and I will be phoning my doctor next week. And I can't, they said, don't phone the first week. You've got to wait for 2 weeks. So I can't do anything about it. So we just got to hope everything runs and ticks on, as they say.
Just keep going and keep bringing that love into you, because that's interesting you mentioned the heart, because when I first started this healing journey, a lady came up to me. I did a little talk, there's about 17 people, and I was talking about remedies and, you know, different things as you go off on a tangent. And she came up to me and she said, I hear what you're saying, Dawn. She said, but, and this was right at the beginning of my journey, so I did take on board what she said. She said, it's like you've got a suit of armor around your heart. She said, and you're afraid of getting hurt again. She said, so I want to ask you, let the love in, bring the love into your heart, keep every night, just keep bringing, how grateful you are for your heart. Imagine a color in your heart and breathe that color in and let your heart expand, let your heart be open again. And I could see what she's saying, because I've been through a really, crazy time in my life. I've been hurt a lot in my life. And I think it was easier to put a suit of armor around than actually allow people in.
Yes. Yeah.
I was kind of giving mixed messages.
But also because you do that, like I've done that, because we do that, because you don't want to be hurt anymore. You don't want people to attack you and you take their attack, and sometimes it isn't until about 3 days later I often think, why didn't I say this? Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I? Because I don't. Sometimes I'm so taken back that I don't say anything. Because Kev always laughed at me. He said, you're my little thinker, because you go away and think. Then you react. And I go, I know. So I'm not quick off the mark sometimes.
No.
And I said, because when somebody hurt you, you do need to go away and think about it. And I said, and I'm not shy in coming back then and saying, no, I think you got this wrong,
Yeah.
But you're right. I'm saying, I had a brick wall for a long time. I do take it down now to bring it down more.
Okay, bless you. Yeah, I think, hopefully from your experience and my experience, and if anyone's listening to this, it's like, what happens in life happens, and sometimes we can't change that, but it's the reaction we have to it that causes the problem. And the more we go over and over it, the deeper it impacts on our well-being or lack of well-being. So with everything going on around us, our mind can't tell if it's us experiencing it or the girl over the street or the lady up in Gambia. It can't tell where that pain is, so it reacts to what we're feeling. And for me, I think, if we could all just stop for a little while, for 5 minutes every day, just bring that light into your body and get in touch with who you are. And then when one thing happens after another, basically we can keep coming back to that place and we feel safer with all that going on around us. Yeah, and I think I've lost you for the moment, Christine.
Have you got me again?
That's all right. I could hear you in agreement.
Yes, a Zoom, isn't it?
Yeah. Bless you.
Yeah.
I think it depends how close we are. But I think my concern is with all of this virus and everything, as there has become a huge amount of mistrust, and it doesn't come out as like, oh, excuse me, I don't trust you. It comes out as irrational behaviour. And I think this is where I'm concerned for the children and the youngsters and this lovely gentleman who trashed my car, or my son's car, because it's like, I'm sure they don't really want to be like that. They don't want the world to see them as that person.
But they wouldn't if it is a young person or persons, when they get older, they certainly will live in regret.
I know.
Unless they're born into that mould, what I call that mold of person, and they learn behaviors from their own family around them. Because most of what I often wonder, bad behavior, unless you really are an unusual person, is learned from family.
There is some of it, I think, is.
Yes.
But there must be children sitting in classrooms right now who have a not good upbringing. And it's not probably the parents' fault. It's just circumstances have created that. But that child in there is an innocent child who can turn their life around. You don't have to become a mirror of who you're brought up with, do you?
No, you don't.
If I'm looking at that, and I don't want to talk too much about that, because I always said I wouldn't tell my story until certain people aren't alive. I might be too old to enjoy it. I have to write a book, leave it as a legacy. Okay. But, if I'd looked at that, I would have been a really angry, uptight, quite vicious person. Especially as being born as a Scorpio, that gives you a right to sting, doesn't it?
It does.
To lash out to all those people who've hurt me.
Yeah, very placid to start with, but if come under that sting of the tail, boy, you don't have to get stung. My friend Linda's got a Scorpio, and she's like you, she's amazing, and she's really, really lovely. But I know she's got a sting in her tail because when we were brought up together as neighbours, and her and I used to have some fights sometimes. So, but I didn't win.
Okay. Okay. Well, I think I just want to say a massive thank you to Christine. I just want to leave people with a message, which basically what happened to you over the weekend has had a serious impact on how you feel. But please, Christine, don't let that become who you are. Okay. Don't let it spoil your everything that you've worked towards, because you've come so far in this last few weeks, haven't you?
I have.
Yeah.
Yes, I have. You're right there with everything. I think I begin to understand more about Heart Brand as well, and what it's going to do and help me as well. It's taken me, I have to think about lots of things and think where I'm going to go with this. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? And yeah, and I believe now that things will happen. So yeah. Thank you.
But you have come a long way. But for anyone who's listening to this, because I'm hopeful I'm going to put it up on YouTube later or tomorrow at the latest if I can, is come on, just because we've made mistakes, just because you've gone pear-shaped, because there's people around you who are not acting true to themselves, doesn't mean that's who you have to become. There are ways that you can gently peel away those layers and get back to who you should be. Because I think every soul has the potential to turn their lives around.
I agree. But that's who we're supposed to be, isn't it? We are supposed to be light souls. Lightness of us. And we really, really are.
And I just think if we can make one person just stop and think as like, why do you need to do that to that car? Why do you need to do that to Christine's Facebook account? Just stop and take a deep breath and go, is this really going to help the world? Or could I put my energy into something better, more appropriate? If they've got that much time on their hands, why don't they look out to a charity and see, what can I do to help people?
Wouldn't that be lovely? Yes, I agree with you totally.
Everyone can make a difference, but please don't go spoiling other people's lives because you had a bad deal. Let's, reach out and we want to help you, because that's why we do what we do. I don't want to be judging people and going, oh my God, all those men out there, all those kids out there, all those whatever. I want to be able to live in peace and know that if someone's out there and they're in trouble or they feel like they've lost their way, they have, they can reach out. I'm just like someone's mum or someone's nanny. Well, I'm nanny now, so I'm liking that role.
Me too. I've been a grandma for a long time.
When my son used to say, or people used to say, oh, you're just like my mum, I was like, oh, seriously? No, they say I'm like someone's nanny. I like that because I am.
It's nice, isn't it?
And nanny is lovely. Okay. But why don't people reach out? I don't know. I've struggled myself in the past with reaching out and asking help. So I do understand that.
I understand it because I've been the same. I've been the same. And even on Heart Brand this morning, and it's going there, but it's like their videos. I've watched a lot of them, not actioned them, and I not quite understood all of them. And I said to Stephen this morning, I need to revisit them, but I also need to ask for help.
Absolutely.
And I don't. And I'm fully aware, even at my age, Dawn, I still sit back and don't ask for help. So I said to him, I will be. And that really taught me another lesson this morning. There are people, why am I in a community if I can't reach out? I shouldn't be in that community. And it is about reaching out and asking people for help, and I'm learning how important that is.
Absolutely. But thank you so much for sharing today. And I know the dog's now got to go off on one because Paul's not come back. But thank you so much, Christine.
Welcome.
And I would say, maybe we can do this. We'll follow it through with different experiences that we're having.
Okay, that'd be lovely.
Maybe get Jason involved and get Emma involved and other people, because I think, at the end of the day, we've all had different lives and we could all gone down the wrong road. But actually, we choose to turn it around. And, I think that's our message today is, if you find yourself in a space where things have gone pear-shaped or you've lost yourself, it doesn't mean that's the end. That doesn't have to be that way. You can turn it around today. Thank you so much, Christine.
Totally.
Really enjoyed
Dawn.
this.
Oh, you're lovely.
Love you to bits. And
bye-bye. Love
look
you
forward
too.
to speak to you soon, Abby. Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye.